Hello, my dear Scorpio. This is a love reading, a prediction for Leo season, July 22nd to August 22nd, 2020, with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. So, this will be a love reading for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising Sign, and Venus, Vedic or Tropical. The reading can go both ways. The drama is the same, but it can be different castings to the different roles by the universe. So, when I tell you that this is you, it might as well be the person or the situation you're dealing with. So use your own intuition and recognition to determine who is who in this reading for you. And if you need more information or help after you have listened to this reading, you can turn to the love readings for Cancer season that is up. We are in the first period of Cancer season right now when I'm posting this. Or you can check out the pick a card and near personal readings on the first page of my channel. Click the headline of each playlist to see all the videos that the playlist contains. And I will start shuffling your cards, and I use the Golden Universal Tarot with Roberto De Angelis. So, when I open your deck here, I see the Knight of Wands together with the Two of Swords in the reversed. So it seems like a situation where you want to move forward with enthusiasm and you're not going to kind of care about naysayers anymore. So that's what I'm seeing here. So I call the Divine with Love and Light. And here we have the Ten of Cups with the Ten of Cups in reverse with the Two of Swords. So there's kind of unprocessed stuff here. You might have felt that people didn't love you enough in the past or didn't give you enough love, but that's something you kind of at this point wants to ignore. You don't want to stay in that old bathing water. You want to move on to greener pastures and kind of break free from this pattern. So I call the four archangels in the four corners of the world. And here we have the nine the Hermit together with the Two of Swords. So the Divine is kind of saying one thing doesn't have to exclude another. So you can still work on moving forward with enthusiasm. But you're still going to have to do the necessary work with the deep diving into how come things became in the way they were for you. With the way you might have felt proven over and over again that people didn't love you or didn't appreciate you, and it's kind of hard for you to comprehend, and therefore you just want to brush this underneath the carpet and move on from it. So that's kind of heroic, but it doesn't seem like the Divine will let you off the hook that easy. So I call the six elements, and here we have the Seven of Swords with the Two of Swords. So this is making me a little bit nervous. It's again with this, I don't want to see what is the problem. And I'm not seeing a solution here, so I don't know the solution to your problem. But I see that you can't lie to yourself. You can't have the mask on. You're not supposed to kind of break down and become a little puddle of water on the floor either. But you need to approach this in a very fact-based, logic kind of way. That this is what I've been through. This is my pattern. This is what I'm drawing into my life. And so you stay a little bit aware and you don't get overwhelmed with disappointment when the past is showing its ugly face again. Okay, so 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Scorpio viewers. So I want my dear Scorpios to have love in their life and to find themselves in loving relationships. Ace of Wands, so new, this positive attitude that we also saw with the Knight of Wands. But then this Two of Coins, like the risk of always being dropped back to the old level. So you can start a new relationship, engaging in new friends, getting a new job, but the past might catch up with you. And I'm thinking maybe it's not the fact that things are going south or becoming not favorable for you. That's the point. The point is how you deal with this, okay? The point is how you mindfully deal with this and maybe not make it about you. Yes, of course, we need to check, okay, how did I, like some kind of work through, how did I contribute to this situation? Okay, maybe I was screaming too loud to my boss for them to want to keep me at this place of work. So we can work with that the next time around. We get a chance to get another job. But I'm thinking this is about your self-esteem. You are not supposed to take it so darn personal when people are dropping you like a hot potato, ignoring you, stop texting you, or whatever it is. And I'm also getting, I'm not really seeing it as much, maybe in the Ace of Wands a little bit, but also this with confronting people and not letting that get off the hook so easily without an explanation. So I want, my dear, I don't know where I were because now I started to bubble, but I want you to have love in your life and to find yourself in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. Okay, so I will just tune in for a few seconds to your situation in Leo season, Scorpio. So this is the new bottom of the deck, and it's the Knight of Wands in the reversed. So don't try to run away from yourself. Okay, you change the past, attract new beautiful things to your life. Don't repeat old patterns, but don't run away from yourself. You still need to do the groundwork. And here is the old bottom of the deck, and it's the Seven of Cups. So it's kind of this feeling, what I felt, you don't know why. Why is this happening? Why is this pattern repeating itself? The same kind of outcomes comes again and again and again. And you don't have the answer to that. And the answer is, of course, to move on. But you need to move on intact. You can't leave half of yourself behind. So you really need to work on your foundation of self-love and being able to take care of oneself in best way possible. So this is what's on your mind with the person most on your mind. And this is the situation. And this is what's on their mind about you. And this is on your emotional level, what you're feeling towards them. The energy between you and their feelings towards you. And this is your behaviors and attitudes, the outcome, and their behaviors and attitudes. Okay, so we start with the situation here. And we have an Ace of Swords, so it's about staying sharp, okay? Being able to see what's happening, not trying to, comfort yourself in such a way that you ignore certain facts. Always see to that you are treated with respect in all your situations, and that you're also treating other people with respect. Be very truthful, honest, clear, and mindful in all your conversations. Try to be very attentive to being the best version of yourself when speaking and connecting to other people, and also have high expectations on other people and see to that they are living up to your standards as well. So this is some kind of new mission, blood, sweat and tears, victory at last. So this is what's on your mind about the person most on your mind, and it's a Knight of Pentacles in the reversed. So there's some situation probably in the past which you are trying to run away from with the Knight of Wands, and this is the Knight of Pentacles. So it might be a person that has these kind of color, maybe with either their looks or their personality, a little bit maybe stubbornness and a person that's set in their ways and have kind of rigid demands, but in the same time being kind of humble and warm in the same time. So interesting combination. But what I'm feeling here is that you don't want to invest in this person anymore. Probably either their demands on you were too high, or they were so set in their ways, and maybe a little bit on the selfish end. A person that wants things in a certain kind of way, can't compromise, but need you to compromise a lot. So it seems like, well, you didn't want that. It wasn't particularly interesting. And here we have what's on their mind about you, and it's the Star card. So I think that this person found a very attentive counterpart in you. So I think that they told you their quirkiness, and you kind of took that into consideration to a certain point, because now you seem to have gotten over it. But this person felt like you were connected in some magical way, and that you understood them without them really having to explain themselves. So they really felt like they have found something special in you. While you probably thought that they were very high maintenance, maybe you are good at reading into people and knowing their needs and their wants and their desires and all this. But maybe you also wish for someone to do you the same favor. And it seems like you have done this person a favor, but maybe they didn't realize that it was taking a toll on you. And with the Two of Swords that we saw in the beginning, it might be that you have been a little bit too diplomatic, or you tried a little bit too hard to please this person, or to make them feel good, and you forgot about yourself. And here we have the energy between you, and it's the Fool. So it seems like this person is still kind of super enthusiastic about this relationship. It might also be a new person coming in due to the Ace of Swords. So you might still think about an old situation with someone that was very stubborn. And but here it comes in new, fresh, beautiful energies. Okay, someone that wants you, that has the best intentions for you, but you still have this more awkward situation on your mind. So it might be a little bit of a split here, where you are thinking about another person and there's a third person kind of thinking about you. But we can also have the situation for some of you, which I said from the beginning, where you have given a lot to this person, and this person felt very elevated by this relationship, and like they finally found someone that understood them, and they might want to kind of move on with this relationship, or fix it, or they have high hopes for it. But I'm seeing these two different scenarios. So this is your feelings towards them, and it's a Seven of Swords, so it's totally about giving up and disengaging and not feeling hope, and thinking that this other person is lying, and that this is not genuine, it's not true, it's something I made up in my head, it's something I want to believe in, but I shouldn't believe in it. Since it's so many people listening to this, there's also a little bit different advices here. For some of you, you might be a little bit overly suspicious due to past things that didn't work out. So you kind of paint the devil on the wall, while the person seems to have good intentions so far. But another scenario is that you are not giving the other person a chance to read into your needs and wants, because you are not communicating with the Two of Swords. You're trying to be diplomatic, and you kind of want them to read your mind and be able to give you what you want without you asking for it. We might need to ask a person, I want us to be exclusive, or I want you to remember my birthday, or I want you to cook food sometimes, or whatever it is. They can't know your discontentment if you don't say it, okay? So this is on their emotional level towards you. And we have the Hermit. So it seems like they're missing you and they want to do something about that. They want to be kind of heroic and fix it. You are actually going and meeting them towards them, but you haven't high expectations on this relationship. So you might take it like with a pinch of salt. So you don't take it really seriously, and therefore you're probably not going to be particularly scared of losing this relationship, and you might even act like kind of cold and cutting towards this person. You don't value the relationship because you don't have hopes about it, and you don't feel this what this other person is feeling, that you're so super connected and that this is it. So you might act in ways that another person would seen as illoyal, because you're not thinking that it's real. You're not taking it seriously because you don't trust the person, or you don't believe in the person, or the person hasn't fulfilled your needs in the same way which you seem to have fulfilled their needs. Okay, so this is on your behaviors and attitudes, and we have a two of wands. So it's like you're not choosing this person. You look out, you see your option, and you might keep an open business with this person on some levels, but you don't have hope for the relationship at all. So you're looking for better options or new options. So you're holding your horses in this relationship and looking for other places where you can be more engaged and where you can feel higher hope, and where you also might feel like you are getting your needs met as well. So it might be that no one has treated this person as well as you have done, and it's 3 major arcana cards here. So this person seems very enthusiastic and in tune with the divine, and thinking that this is a godsend, this is something that's really beautiful, and you don't have hope for this at all. You just think that the person is kind of high maintenance, and that that you shouldn't invest yourself emotionally, and that you should look for other options. So this is what their behaviors and attitudes, and it's the 10 of Cups. So I'm thinking this might be an issue of trust, that you just didn't trust this person, and they actually wanted glorious things with you, but they might not have shown it in a way that you could understand. They might have taken for granted that you knew how they felt. And there's a lot of unsaid things here, things that's maybe we communicate one thing, no, of course, I don't care about that, when it's really all things we are obsessed about. Or, no, of course, I haven't fallen in love that deep just yet, when really we are, totally, totally super engaged with our heart and everything. So it's something that's a little bit out of whack here. I'm thinking that the communication isn't great. We have an Ace of Swords there, so it might be the total mission here to start to communicate in a more honest and truthful way. And I don't want to throw you to the wolves. So if you trust yourself and your instinct that no, you can't trust this person, it's no idea, there's no hope. I don't want to push you over the edge and into a situation where I say, well, this person really have high hopes for the relationship, and when you call them, they act as if you don't matter, because it's almost like this person wants to woo you in, but maybe you have acted in a way that were feeling that you were acting somewhat rude. But it was because you didn't have high hopes for this. You didn't feel like this would be it, or that this would be the right stuff, or that the person was even serious. So therefore, it can be these quirky mistakes or misunderstandings where a person says, well, I don't care about that, I'm trying to move on, when again, really all they think about is you. So it's very hard to advise in this situation, because people aren't honest towards each other. And these are the kind of miscommunications that can lead to lifelong situations where the thing that were supposed to happen never happened because people weren't honest or weren't speaking their truth or weren't owning up to their own emotions or their own hopes and their own feelings because they didn't want to throw themselves to the wolves. So in that case, with throwing oneself to the wolves, you're on the same page. I'm thinking this person is a little bit more willing to throw themselves to the wolves, but their behaviors and attitudes is a 10 of Cups in reverse. So it's almost like, well, you're kind of great, but you're not really what they wanted. Maybe they wanted someone taller, someone shorter, someone younger, someone older, someone more mature, less mature, whatever it was. So it seems like they felt like this was the right thing, but in the same time, they gave you the appearance that it wasn't it for them, or that you aren't important. So it seems like you think that they have taken enough time to not show their love, so you're giving up and you're searching for other options. This person is super into you. Okay, so outcome. Yes, okay, the World card. So the World card says that there's a destiny together with this person. And if you miss your target now, there's a destiny being unfulfilled. So destiny can't turn to fate. And well, it's not a big deal. Humans do this all the time. We're always missing the target because we're dropped here in the darkness with no compass, no map, no flashlight, and we are supposed to find our way and not make mistakes. That's kind of impossible. So it's kind of rigged for us to make mistakes, so we can do this, over and over and over and over again. But the divine is kind of dangling like a reward here, or a carrot if we are a donkey, and saying that you could find a beautiful happiness here. You can burn out some old karma and step out of fear and into something that's yummy and beautiful. I'm not really sure how that's going to happen, but one little advice is, if you would trust a person that is not trustworthy, it's not always the end of the world. Yes, if you are being tricked to go together with a wolf through the forest as Little Red Riding Hood, it can have bad consequences. But if someone takes you for a fool and engage you in a love relationship, for example, where they are not really serious, it's not the end of the world. But it would be a real shame to miss out on something that could be really beautiful. So maybe you're asked to be more sure of that you're actually worth the best things ever, and that not all people are going to trick you or fool you. They are scared too. They are scared as well to show their feelings, even if they have a lot of them. But it's almost like you take for granted that they don't feel in that way for you. And it would be a shame missing out, okay? So I'm going to take a card for this person here to the right. And it's a commitment. So it seems like this person wants to commit with you, and they have high hopes for the relationship, and they want beautiful, beautiful things together with you. 36. Commitment. A true commitment is a responsibility of the heart, mind, body, and soul. This is a good time to make one. Partnerships formed at this time are harmonious and powerful. The commitment card also indicates the natural evolution of a relationship from its inception to a literal or metaphorical marriage. At the very least, there is a promise of fulfillment in some form. However, you must be conscious of what you're committing to. Be clear about the nature of your commitment and your responsibility to it. Others are more willing to enter into partnership at this time. Remember that your partnership with Spirit and the highest version of your own self will engage the higher self in another. So you seem to be focused on that, kind of having a relationship with yourself and taking good care of yourself, and seeing to that you're not tricked into, you know, the forest by the wolf. And here is you, the ghost lands. So what has happened, Scorpio? I don't know, but you have kind of given up on love, that's for sure. You probably have the best of reasons. But you're living a little bit in the past, and therefore also repeating it. You are kind of condemned to repeating it because you fear that this will happen. So it's very important to be trusting. If there's no real reason, only the ghost in your head to not trust the person, trust them until they are proven otherwise. So you can learn from the past and imagine a beautiful future, but you must live in the here and now. Whenever you set your sights too far ahead, you run the risk of losing your footing, for rarely do the present and future match up exactly on the enchanted map that is your life story. The future has no substance right now. It's a place that has no grounding as of yet. You can't live there, yet you can take measured steps to reward a goal or a dream. These steps are important now. The same goes for nostalgia. You can look into the past wishfully and remember beautiful moments or revisit lessons learned. However, you can't live there, nor can you go back and change what was. Yesterday is gone forever. Live fully in the present. The now is the most powerful place to put your attention. Its magic reaches out in every direction, further than the heart and soul can ever see. So try to have a little bit more fun in the moment. I know in the beginning I advise you to not move ahead too quickly and to not, you know, forget about the past, which you anyway couldn't solve because you have been through some traumatic events that made you feel like the life was never going to reward you with real love. And it was seemingly so that you jumped on a horse and, you know, you just wanted to forget about your past and move into the future. And I'm thinking this is what's happening still here. You still want to move into the future while you seem to have something right underneath your nose that's being presented to you. And the past you want to avoid, and the future is where you want to live. So also the now is being avoided. So try to be a little bit more attentive to what is going on and live fully in the moment and take the chance that's being given to you. And don't soar too heavily in what's being presented to you and the chances that's being given. You don't have to engage in them forever and ever, but you can at least look where this road is leading and instead of disregarding it totally. Okay, so my dear Scorpio, I hope this helped. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like my content and want to support my channel, you can do so not only by watching but also liking, commenting, subscribing and sharing my videos. You can also donate to my channel through the link in the description box, or you can make Google donate by clicking my ads or watch them for 30 seconds or to the end of the ad, whichever comes first. That is keeping my humble revenue up so I can free up more time to do videos like this for you. And I'm so super grateful for my wonderful, loving and supporting viewers. And your amazing comments always make my day. So stay beautifully blessed until next time. Okay, bye-bye.